Good morning, Dumela. Ke auntymagogo, and this is Class 6, MyTribe. Almost there, almost there. Just one more class of the free course. Almost there. I'm so proud of myself for sticking to the plan. Because sometimes you get an idea or you get a thought or something, you don't know what for, but just being consistent and sticking to it, it does something to you. It does something to you, and the discoveries are just amazing too along the way. And so realize, oh, maybe this is why I'm doing it, and you still don't really know why you're doing it, but just following your gut and your intuition into committing to something. So I'm very excited. We are on class 6, and then I can actually fully be in my stillness and just enjoy the rest of winter and taking care of myself, because I also have some more work to do on myself. I have things waiting for me that need my attention. Hence, I did mention earlier that we are pressed for time. I wanted to do this and stuff, but hey, we are not in control. Hey, not in control, mate. So class 6, MyTribe. So if this is your first encounter with our classes or any of our videos, you might need to catch up. So go to our YouTube channel, auntymagogo, and then you can find all the videos that last area. It's a 7-class course on self-love. So check it out. Whatever resonates, use, give feedback. Reach out if you want to inquire about anything else, any of our services, any of our products. And disclaimer, once again, this is not the end all and be all. If you do need professional help like therapy, counseling and such, even medical assistance, just go get some medical attention, medical advice, or reach out however you can to whoever you can. So these are just tips and guidelines that you need to encompass into or incorporate into who you already are or who you are working towards. So as my motto is, self-love is a lifestyle, and that's our slogan. So let's get into it. So today's class is framed around, yes, I do have the clouds again as our view. It's just so beautiful, guys. Just remembering to look up. It's an amazing thing to see. It's just enough on 9.sanako, I'm seeing time. Okay, back to the class. Today's class is framed around, for one, the company you keep, your sounding board, your moral compass, or your values. And the scripture, as we get into it, is Numbers 10, verses 6 to 7. Oh, when I was doing this class and I was doing the prep, I was getting goosebumps. Okay, so the scripture reads, short blasts are to be sounded to break camp, but in order to call the community together, long blasts are to be sounded. I highlighted from community together, long blasts are to be sounded. I will explain as we get into it. So the scripture for today's class, MyTribe, is Numbers 10, verses 6 to 7. Show me your friends and I will know who you are. We've all heard that. Birds of a feather flock together, something that we hear on a regular basis, right? And we've worked so hard in our ignorance, and adolescence to stick to it, to actually prove that, that birds of a feather flock together, that we are birds of a feather, that we are part of a clique, that we are part of something. Strangely enough, now when I was in high school, I was part of a group. And I never really felt like I belonged in the group. I never felt like I belonged. There was just always something going on in that group, and I'd be in the middle of it. Some I did actually instigate, but some was just nonsense, And now that I'm grown, it makes sense. It just makes sense. When I say, in our naivety or ignorance as kids, like where we just want to be part of a clique, and we grow up wanting to be part of a clique. We are raised into and educated into wanting to be like other people, or not falling behind or lacking behind, and far away from being individuals. So as much as we've done some self-reflection from class 1 to 5, we also need to take an honest look at what it is our external world says about us. So Wawana, from class 1 to 5, my mind, my heart, my womb, my altar, and my money. Those 5 classes, they were more about self, they were more about internal work, self-love. We also still need to be honest about our surroundings and what we choose to have surround us. Those things really matter too, because it's no use doing the internal work while your external is still just the same. There's no change there. There's no rearrangement. There's no change of course. There's no change of topic. There's no change of tone. There's no change of dance and direction. So let's look at our definitions for today's class. Tribe, for one. Tribe means a group of clans or families believed to have a common ancestor. Ancestor, person from whom one is descendant. Common, belonging to 2 or more people. So the common word in this, between these 3 words, I guess common is the common word. Common ancestor, that is a group of clans, families believed to have a common ancestor. The meaning of common, belonging to or more. So common, commonality, one thing. So remember, family isn't only blood or relation. Family are the people surrounding you, chosen or not. That's family. So does the company that you choose to dedicate yourself to align with who you truly are? Guys, there'll be noise in the background. I let it be, because Alexander. Who busy? And the Avantas in the background, like that shit is dope. I love that. I really love that. I love that. That's money moving. That's money out there. Okay, so does the company that you choose to dedicate yourself to align with who you truly are? Or even who you're trying to be? And the people that you have surrounding you, or the people around you, how do they react to your dreams, your goals, your ideas, your achievements, your successes, like your new things that you are doing? Are they the first to go and check your things out? Like when you say you posted something, oh, for example, I started a channel, are they the first to go and check it out? Are they sharing that stuff, When you tell them about starting something new, do they give you the time to listen? Do they encourage you first, or do they actually try to dissuade you against what you're trying to do? Do they say, oh, go for it first? Or do they say, do you have, but where? That time bona aba ntho o nagana go etsa so ka ba etsa bona. They've never done it. They've never done it. So that's the other thing. Like, there are different types of personalities, there's different types of intelligence out there. But sometimes, a person who's more knowledgeable about the world, maybe, general knowledge, maybe, articulation, especially Moscow. And people, but I tend to think like that means uthalifile. The more articulate you are, then the smarter you are to have around. And that's been quite an ailment or an ill between us Batwabans, and because we were indoctrinated, so it's understandable. We were made to think Khoresgo as the language of knowledge. So it's easy, you get sucked into wanting to be the smart one in the crowd. The smart one, or the one with advantage, or the one, I don't know, something like, you the breadwinner, just having a bit more than others. Those, like in Jwalo, just having a bit more than others. Advantage of being in a circle. So are you celebrated or just accommodated? Are you keeping them to just have people to participate in your occasions? Are you giving them what you give yourself? A question that we ask in every class. Are you giving what you're giving? Are you giving them what you give yourself? And are you receiving what you are giving? Did you choose the role, or was it given to you? The role that you play in your circles, was it given to you, or did you choose it? Answer that question, and then with that question, ask further why. You could be like the nurturer in the group, and that could be because maybe of how you grew up. Maybe you were the eldest in your siblings, and you had to grow up quick, or you were the middle child, you had to, whatever circumstance, it could be things like that. So those type of things, that's what we call shadow work. That's shadow working, getting into it. Asking yourself why you do certain things, especially things that you don't like about yourself. Asking yourself, but why do I do this? That's shadow working. No one is going to do that for you. You do it for yourself, where you're just asking yourself questions about yourself. Like, Mara, why gets onto so? I don't like this about me. I don't like this about myself. Why do I do it? Where do I get it from? So the ritual. Be your own friend and family. Number one, be your own friend and be your own family. Because all you got. People don't give a fuck. Because everyone is living their own life, to be honest. Everyone is living their own life. They're living their own realities. Discover your love language. Discover your love language. Meaning, be around the things that you love doing. Be around the things that make you feel good. Know what you like. Start finding out what you really like. Because you can just be thinking you like certain things. No. Those are just things that were made available to you. So communication style and outlook to life determines the outcomes. The things I write. Let me read that again. Communication style. Yes. Communication style and outlook to life determines the outcomes. Communication style and outlook to life determines the outcomes. Even the way I read it, hey, reading my own handwriting here, communication and then style and then outlook to life determines the outcomes. That's also true. Number 3, misery loves company. I always, everyone wants somewhere to cry. Everyone wants somewhere to cry. Everyone wants somewhere to cry. Like Bob Marley says, like every man thinks his burning hits the heaviest. Every man thinks his burn hits the heaviest. He who feels it knows it more. We all want somewhere to cry. He who feels it knows it more. So misery loves company. So always question the tone of progress based on application. So in other words, is your tribe progressing in their own life or lives? The people that you have around you, are they making the progress in their lives? Are they working on making their lives better? Are they working on making their lives different? Are they working on making their futures different? Legacies are want to be different for their kids, for whatever. Are these people that are working on growing, or are these people that are living in just circumstance again? Are they just victims of circumstance? I'm getting straight into the rituals because there are other parts of this class that I think are more vital than the ritual part. So please excuse the confusion if I have caused any. If we try it, okay, rituals is the end and we are only like 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes in. Hey, there's still, why is this last short? No, it's the usual time. It's just I'm switching it up a bit, and my madness. There's a method to my madness. Trust me, please. Are the people around you progressing in their own lives? What are the main topics of discussion? When you are with your people, what do you mainly talk about? How do you spend your time together? What do you do with these people that you call your tribe? Okay, so we're gonna start breaking it down now. Let's get into it. My tribe. Number 1, be your own friend. Number 2, God starts within and exists without. Number 3, blood versus water. My tribe. Be your own friend. God exists within and exists without. Blood versus water. It is all up to you. So if something happens to you, what are you going to do about it? If something happens to you, what are you going to do about it? It is still all up to you. Everything is still up to you. It's all up to you. First and foremost, as soon as something happens to you, you are your first go-to person, no one else. As soon as something happens to you, your reaction is you being your first go-to person. You are not alone. But help yourself first. Help yourself first. Help yourself first. Oh, and if someone is in need and you giving them your loss, that is not you guaranteeing your own abundance. That is not you being a saint. You are not doing the world a favor. You are not doing the humankind a favor. You giving your last to someone who also needs that makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Giving your last does not guarantee abundance at all. Whoever told you that, it makes no sense. If you have your last, don't give your 100%. If you're a giver, share it, ration it then. Give a bit of what you have. That's you sharing, breaking, to multiply. Your heart determines your journey. Act only in good emotions, even when making sleg decisions. Even when making sleg decisions. So let's get into the scripture. The part that I just went through now is the part that I will be mentioning in the next class, my playground, because it actually touches on the tribe class. It touches on it in explaining the playground, the last and final class, because it just touches on the essence of each class and the main topics or the main lessons. The scripture, which is what we are getting into. Short blasts are to be sounded to break camp. Remember, today's scripture for today's class is Numbers 10 verses 6 to 7. Numbers 10 verses 6 to 7. Short blasts are to be sounded to break camp. That's the first, that's 6, right? Short blasts are to be sounded to break camp. In scripture, blasts are used for horn, like to make announcements, like what we are told about the last blast being the last blast, your last call to your goodbye to this world, to earth, as Christianity says heaven, right? That's your last blast. You are off. You are out of this world, out, mate. You are gone. Now you are going up to the heavens, right? You are going up to the sky. That's why the last trumpet faces the sky, or any trumpet faces the sky for announcement. So those blasts, everyone must depart. It's like if we're having a party and the cops come, whoops, the party's going to break apart. It does not take too much for people to leave you alone. It doesn't take a lot for people to just go off and just, be in their own worlds. It's like after a funeral, after tears, right after tears, a lot of people disperse and go back to their lives. And then now the family, the people left behind, now the reality sinks in for them. That short blast, because it's all done. It does not take too much for people to leave you alone, i.e. to go live their own lives, and which people are allowed to. People are allowed to live their own lives. Camp definition, temporary lodgings. Camp means temporary lodgings, meaning temporary. At some point, that thing needs to break apart. Like it was, people were just together for temporary. Sorry. So as I was saying, camp needs to eventually break. So it's like at wars, people meet for camp. That's temporary. Camping, it's called camping because it's temporary. You can't live like that forever. Even if you start like that, at some point that structure needs to be harder. There needs to be wood. It needs to be, even that wood, it needs to be something stronger than that. It needs to be it needs to be what? But the logs and stuff. You're not just using sticks anymore. You have to upgrade for stronger structure. So it also means consciously artificial. Camp also means consciously artificial. That one hit me. consciously artificial. Remember when the old people, they used to, but they still say it, nice time is not forever. I was talking about papa, I'm really busy every weekend, up and down, but nice time is not forever. That's what this means. Nice time is not forever. Now, the rest of the scripture, Numbers 10, verse 7. But in order to call the community together, long blasts are to be sounded. As soon as there's the word but, there's a problem. As soon as there's the word but, there's a problem. The thing they said before does not matter. But in order to call the community together, long blasts are to be sounded. It takes a lot of work to have people to come to your call. That is what the scripture is saying to me. Because it started with short blasts to break camp. Long blast, meaning you have to blow this horn. Until boom, boom. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of breathing. That's a lot of oxygen out. In, out. Carbon, then it's a lot. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of energy. It takes a lot to actually call people to come to your call, like to come, like to sing. So as I said, when shit hits the fan, you are your first go-to person. How you react to it is the first sign, it's the first move you can do. That's the first thing you do. The first person you call is yourself. How you react, how your mind reacts, how the mind takes the whole thing in. That is the first person you call. Self. Hey guys, it takes a lot of work for people to come to your call. It takes a lot of work for people to actually, even if people come and help, you can have a lot of people surrounding you, but they're not really helping in what you need help in. They're not really hitting the right nail on the head. Hey, they can assume, they can guess. Even if you're trying to tell people, guys, no, this is what I'm saying. Guys, it's not this, is that. Guys, hey, they will not listen. People will tell you what they think. Like the story of Joseph. Or any other story. The stories that we know, man. You can't be a prophet to your own people. You have to be a prophet to your own people. That's true. Like, you can't be a prophet, a priest or a guide or a healer to your own people. As a healer, you can't heal yourself most cases. So now, anyone has any ailment, most ailments, I can make something for you. But as soon as I'm sick, get it there first for a while. Get it there for a while. Because it's hard. It's hard to. So, nice time is not forever. And it takes a lot of work to have people come to your call. Long blasts, it's a horn. It's also music for celebration, mourning, or a warning. Announcements, celebrations, mornings, or warnings. Long blasts, the horn, linaka, vuvuzela, volume. When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? As Kendrick Lamar says, when shit hits the fan, is you still a fan? Is you still a fan? How much energy does it take to call on people? How much energy does it take for the people around you to actually eventually come to you, to aid you, or to even just see you sharp and just without you having to verbally say, I get sharp. Just for them to say, no, Joe, what's going on with you? You're acting out of turn. Like, what's the matter? Instead, they'll have discussions about you behind your back. Mama's losing her mind. Mama sahlanya no. Sahlanya mama. Khalor bitsa mahlanya ron. Mama sahlanya no. Khale ba bitsa mahlanya ron khale. Khale because I've always had radical decisions, radical reactions, and I realized over time they were radical because no one was listening to me half the time. That's how I felt. I felt unheard most of the time. So I'd come with radical decisions, but these decisions would seem like they're for other people to get their reaction. To some extent, yes, but it was more for me. It was more for me just saying, fuck it. I'm on my own anyway, so let me just do what I know I will be doing on my own. Over time, that's why muthu khona iblomela le one asabe le stress. I try get house once I somewhere. And in my maturity, in my grown woman state, I know I can't be alone. I need sisters. I need other women who see things the way I see them, who can teach me from where I am at the point that I'm at. A tribe that matters. A tribe that will bring definition to the things that I dream of, the things that I think of, the things that I imagine, the things that I feel. It's always hard to ask for help when you need it most. That's when it's the hardest to ask for help, when you need it most, because it's where you expected more. You're expecting the people around you to see that you need help because they've seen you when you're good, so they should be able to see you when you're not good. So then what happens when you have no one to ask or no one to expect to care? Then what? What do you do? What do we do, guys, when it's like that? When there's like no one to ask? Let's say you are in a new city, starting a new job, a new life, or you're in a room of people you don't know. What you gonna do? You're gonna just spark conversations here all willy-nilly for the sake of feeling like you are belonging to someone, to something. Do you know those weird situations? Are you gonna be that guy? My guy. Are you gonna be him? So what's the point of asking? What's the point of asking out? What's the point of asking for help externally? That's my question. That's my whole basis of this class. What's the whole point of asking outside of ourselves? What's the point of doing outside of ourselves? What's the point of doing so that people can see this or people can think this about us? Of proving certain things to people? What's the point? If it's not easy for people to come to my assistance, what's the point of me doing things for them? What's the point of me doing things for them to think a certain way of me? If when I really need help, I can't call these people cannot come to my aid so quickly. What's the point of me always being available? What's the point of me always having money to borrow to people? What's the point of me always having the time to listen to people cry and tell me their problems? What is the point of that? Like now, I choose when I want to listen to people's problems now. I used to just do it all willy-nilly because we think that's what's expected of us. It's my affirmation alarm. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I had to take care of something. That's my alarm, to take care of something. But alarm affirmations. Hooray, I deserve this wealth that's coming to me. Money comes to me easily. Money flows to me. Yes, that's the type of alarm I have. So if if it's hard to ask people for help, right? It's hard for people to just come to our aid. How about you just try asking yourself for help loudly and consistently, like loud blasts, like shapa brompeta to yourself. Shapa the brompeta to yourself. This will make sense because of all the other classes, because now we are talking internally and not externally. You are your own altar. So prayer is you communicating to yourself. So if you need help, speak to yourself and say, okay, how am I going to get out of this one? I will get out of this. I will figure this out. This is going to work out. This is to my benefit. There's something behind this. There's a great lesson behind what I'm going through right now. That is you asking yourself for help loudly. You'll be telling people about the shit you've overcome, like years later. Like, oh, there was a time I did this. People who think they know you, you'll be telling them. You'll be telling them your stories of things that you went through on your own without them knowing. There's so much power in people not knowing your shit, especially your problems. There's so much power in that. So much power. I've also learned to tell people what they think they want to hear. Sometimes just to pass time, just for entertainment, Just tell them what they want to think, what they want to hear. Like, rather tell them, leave them with them thinking you're going through problems and for them to think everything is going well for you. That's another thing. Keep your shit private. Keep your shit private, but if you are going to speak about your problems, speak about them in pride, not with shame. Speak about your problems in pride, never in shame. So this is a question about who you're spending your time with, who you're allowing around you. It all goes back to, like, if you don't want those people around your altar, they shouldn't be in your life. Not all the people close to you should be seeing your altar. No. Oof. It's lit. But you're getting the point I'm getting to, right? Not that you must have the close people, they must also see your altar. That is not smart. That is not smart. Don't have that type of friend either. No chomi that's so close. No chomi that's always in my house, always opening fridges, opening cupboards, doing whatever, willy-nilly sleep. No. No. We are too grown now to be having sleepovers at each other's houses. If we want to sleep over, let's book a trip away. Let's go somewhere else. Let's book a trip, Airbnb, a night away, so we can catch up. Unfamiliar territory. Also, we are working towards something, right? Individually, that type of shit. Like, have those type of friends or that type of tribe. People understand why it's important to do things like that. Every time I phone every time o botsa ka yena o founela go botsa ka yena o founela go botsa ka yena le mathata gae ba bang ba tshabile o botsa ha o founela gore go founela fela ke na le mathata go founela go le monate. Imagine that. That shows you've been lenient. When someone said that to me, and it wasn't the first time someone said that to me, but it was proof to me, are you chilled as a mofo? You chilled. You are chilled. So long rope people. And let them testify to you and be honest about where you stand in their lives. But about where you really stand in their lives and be okay with it. Appreciate it when it happens. Like, oh shit. Exclusion is everything. If people are excluding you, even better. Like, oh, that's everything. It shows you, oh, okay, so that's where I stand. Meet it. If that's the energy, meet it halfway. Start excluding too. Start excluding. Exclude people from seeing your statuses. Guys, I can delete the number. If I don't need your contact number, I don't need it. If I don't need your number, like when I say need, I mean need. Like honest need, genuine need. If I don't need your number, I don't need it. I delete it. I absolutely delete your number. If I don't need it, I get delete. And my need is a very, very, very high maintenance word an action in my life. Need. Takes a lot for me to say I need a person. If I say I need a person, it takes a lot for me to say I need a person. It takes a shitload for me to say I need a person. It takes so much. And I'm not coming from a background of trauma or whatever, but because I understand what wrong, the life that I'm living, the role that I have, the journey that I'm on, the work that I do, the person that I am, it takes a lot for me to say I need a person. That's why a lot of people get confused with me, thinking certain people are my friends when they're not. Because I am that cool. I am such a cool person. I am so chilled. I am such a cool person. I'm a very chilled person who's very stern. You'll know where you stand. You'll know what I like. You know what I don't like. But hey, I have my ground. I have my boundaries. I've learned over time to have my own space. I love my own space. I love personal space. I have that. And I only have chosen few people that I put close to my heart. And even these people are people that I'm very distant with too. But over time, I've learned to let go of people. I've said, delete the number, delete. Block the number. I'm just, I cannot show me. I have no friend. If anything, my friend is my partner, if we can call him that. But I think it's more than that. Right. But I don't have a friend. I don't have friends. I don't have friends. Like walking this life thing, walking this journey, and also doing this work as a spiritual life coach, and realizing the importance of spirit, like myself, my inner self, and my inner being. There's just a lot of things that I stopped appreciating, like how people treat me, shadiness. And I know I'm a forgiving person too, so that's why I've chosen to tread carefully in this thing of friendships or whatever. If anything, I could say the relations that I'm building are relations that matter to my journey, matter to my work. Those are the ones that I don't mind having time for right now. And I still pray that God blesses me with a healthy tribe of women to have as a counsel, because we can't go through this shit alone. We really can't. But otherwise, me, when I need counsel, I have my mother, I have her friends, because she has certain friends that I hold dear to me that I consider my mothers too. And also in my work, and I'm blessed with the tribe that I'm blessed with are the people that I meet in my work. So in the healing massages that I give the elderly women, aged 50 plus, and I go against the house calls, more Alex. Yo, the wisdom I get from these women, the wisdom I get from Memba. And now I feel free. I feel so much more myself, either when I'm with kids or when I'm with older people. So that's the tribe that I actually just realized that. And, instead of me just saying, I'm still waiting for God to play, I actually do have a tribe. My tribe are the people that I meet in my work. Damn it. Wow. I'm so blessed. Yeah, I have a tribe. Yeah, so my tribe are the women that I meet in my work. Damn. That just hit me. How amazing is that? And I learn so much from them every time. I really do. I learn so much from them. And wow, now even in this video, in this class, I can proudly say that I've made peace with the fact that I am an old soul and my home is with older women or people who are of older souls too. And I've made peace with not being of the same cloth with people who are maybe of the same age group, or I don't know. Also, we are considered to be the same because we are of the same community. And that's not true. Artwan and Arnachanotwana, and we don't all have to be the same clique or circles. Yeah, so I'm also making peace with my outlook to things that really goes against a lot of people and majority. And I am making peace with, did you see that? I'm also making peace with not being liked and not paying too much attention to such things, you know. So your tribe is you. Ultimately, you are your tribe. You are your tribe, and let your tribe choose you. Wow, and I'm happy to test, to give testament with my work, to say, following your purpose finds, as Maisha said in the conversation I had with her in our interview, that I posted my one on our YouTube channel. Please check it out if you haven't. Amazing conversation with her there. So this thing of just being led and following intuition and following and trying to find a purpose, it gives you everything that you need. My idea of this tribe that I thought was still an old idea of the thing I mentioned earlier, of how we grow up wanting to be parts of cliques that don't serve us. It was still that same mentality that I was trying to apply to now. This thing, a tribe, I need to belong. And that's why I've had clashes. And now me just making the time to just say, fuck it all. I've really, the past 3-4 months, I've just said, fuck it all. Like, people can think what they want to think. I'm going this way. And I've had it this whole time. I've really just had it this whole time. And when I need it, I meet the right woman at the right time. So hey, you know what? I am blessed. I am blessed and I am grateful, and thank you for listening. So yeah, be your own tribe. Be your own tribe. Be your own tribe. That's Auntie Magogo. I am out. Take care, guys. Like, remember to look outside. Remember to look up. Remember to just sit down and just find space in the day to be, like, feel good. Want to feel good. Feel your body. Feel everything in you living and just being here. That, oh, fuck, I'm here. I'm here. Make some time. Okay, obviously you'll be a bit more gracious than I am about it, but with that same energy, like, yeah, fuck, I'm here. Looking out, guys, and enjoying the view. I am not where I am. I am here in Alex, but I am not here. Every day I am not here. Kimo Alex no. Right? But I am not here. I am not here. That's why it's important to look up. That's why it's important to look up. That's why we are told to keep our head up. So keep your head up. Auntie Magogo out. Mwah!